List of figures. Figure 1.1. Arable land per rural population in Asia and Africa, 1961 to 2018. Note: the figure was drawn using data from FAO Stat. Figure 1.2. Yields of selected crops in tropical Asia and sub-Saharan Africa, 1961 to 2020. Note: the figures were drawn using data from FAO Stat. Figure 1.3. World rice production and rice prices, 1960 to 2020. Note: figure was drawn using data from FAO Stat and World Bank commodity price sheets. Figure 1.4. Adoption of ICTs in Asia and Africa, 1960 to 2020. Note: the figures were drawn using data from World Development Indicators. Figure 1.5. Gross enrollment in primary, secondary, and tertiary schooling in tropical Asia and sub-Saharan Africa. Note: the figures were drawn using data from the World Development Indicators. Figure 3.1. Map of the Central Luzon Loop Survey. Figure 3.2. Trends in the adoption of modern varieties in the wet season, left, and the dry season, right, 1966 to 2021, the Loop Survey. Figure 3.3. Trends in the mean, left, and the coefficient of variation, right, of paddy yield, 1966 to 2021. Figure 3.4. Trends in agricultural labor wage rate, 1966 to 2021. Loop Survey for Wage and Paddy Price. Philippine Statistics Authority for CPI. Figure 4.1. Adoption of submergence-tolerant rice and flood experience in Bangladesh and India. Yamano et al. 2018. Bairagi et al. 2021. Raghu et al. 2022. Notes: 465 farmers in Lalmanarhat, Kurigram, and Rangpur districts. 1,020 farmers in Gaybonda, Jamalpur, Kurigram, Lalmanarhat, Rangpur, and Sherpur districts. 1,544 farmers in Assam, 1,600 farmers in Odisha, and 1,600 farmers in West Bengal, India. Figure 4.2. Yields, T per hectare, of submergence-tolerant varieties and other rice varieties. Yamano et al. 2018. Bairagi et al. 2021, and Raghu et al. 2022. Note: see Figure 4.1 for details on the study areas. Figure 4.3. Net income, USD per hectare, from submergence-tolerant varieties and other rice. Yamano et al. 2018. Bairagi et al. 2021, and Raghu et al. 2022. Notes: see Figure 4.1 for details on the study areas. Exchange rates used. 1 United States dollar equals IDR 67.2. 1 United States dollar equals BDT 78.4. Figure 4.4. Adoption rate of submergence-tolerant rice in terms of walking distance to the identified seed recipient's house. Yamano et al. 2018. Figure 4.5. Seed sources of submergence-tolerant rice varieties in 2012 to 2015 in northern Bangladesh. Yamano et al. 2018. Figure 4.6. DNA fingerprinting identification of rice varieties in Bangladesh. Yamano et al. 2017. Figure 5.1. Trends in agricultural wages in Kenya. Tegemeo Institute data in triangles, 1997 to 2010, 2014, and survey data in round dots, 2011, 2016, and 2018. Figure 10.1. The impact of tree rights on the number of working days and the extracted volume. Figure 13.1. MLN affected countries in the world in year of emergence. Figure 13.2. Predicted, 1962 to 2030, and actual, 1961 to 2020, maize yield in Kenya. Figure 13.3. Predicted, 1962 to 2030, and actual, 1961 to 2020, maize yield in DR Congo. Figure 13.4. Predicted, 1962 to 2030, and actual, 1961 to 2020, maize yield in Tanzania. Figure 15.1. Nationally representative surveys in 10 provinces. Figure 15.2. Adoption of 3 major ICTs by rural households or individuals, 2015 to 2019. Figure 15.3. Adoption of 3 major ICTs by province in rural China, 2015 to 2019. Figure 19.1. Output and employment structural transformation in Asia and the world, 1970 to 2018. Figure 3.1 in ADB 2020. Note GDP equals gross domestic product, USD equals United States dollar. Figure 19.2. Labor market equilibrium condition. Figure 19.3. Land use observed by satellite images of Laguna Province in 1976 and 2016. Kim et al., 2021. Figure 19.4. Occupational dynamics in the southwest, west, and southeast, east sides of Laguna Lake in the Philippines. Kim et al., 2021. Figure 21.1. Change in rice and aquaculture production in Ca Mau Province. General Statistics Office of Vietnam various years. Figure 21.2. Gross output of product per hectare in Vietnam. General Statistics Office of Vietnam various years. Figure 21.3. Moran's 1 plot, Global Moran's 1. Figure 22.1. Food and agricultural R&D per capita by income levels. Party et al., 2016. Figure 22.2. Trend of cassava production and harvested area in Thailand. FAO Stat 2022. Figure 22.3. Export of cassava products in Thailand. FAO Stat 2022. Figure 22.4. Cassava yield and TTSA membership. FAO and IIASA 2021, TTSA, N. D. Figure 22.5. Classification of cassava products. Figure 24.1. Locations of horticulture markets where solar-powered cold storage facilities were installed, intervention markets. IFPRI Survey 2020, National Bureau of Statistics 2019, and National Agricultural Extension and Research Liaison Services 2020. Figure 24.2. Number of days products remain fresh, by major commodity. Reports by market agents. Author's calculation based on IFPRI Survey 2020. Figure 25.1. Evolution of WEAI tools, user demands, and number of users. Author's records. Note. Systematic tracking of WEAI users began in 2015. No data for 2013 to 2014. Figure 26.1. Introduction of competition law and establishment of competition authorities in the Asia-Pacific region. OECD Comp Stats Database in the Asia-Pacific region, OECD Asia-Pacific Competition Law Enforcement Trends 2021.